You too. What's up? Checking in with you today. So I've had a lot of realizations since yesterday. Some good, some not so good. But one that was good was that um, I'm realizing that I'm not that far behind in everything that I have to do. I started. I know it's so bad to compare, but I started comparing my journey to what I was seeing in the last person who graduated, and to me, it seemed like even him, he had a lot of stuff going, but he didn't really get everything together and go into his last year. I'm in my last year. I can do the exact same thing and get it all together, done, and out the door. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm feeling a lot better about my progress and where I'm at. I made some progress yesterday. I've been working on therapy homework today. I actually had a court this morning on a credit debt, which is so crazy. I can't believe they can actually sue you for credit debt now. It's supposed to just go on your credit report and drop in 7 years. Now they're actually suing you, so you have to pay type stuff. I don't like it. I hate this country. I hate the way it's ran. I hate the freaking debt laws. It's such a scam, bro. It's such a scam. I hate it. Um, but anyway, it went well enough. I was trying to settle it. It's like 2,200. I was trying to sell it for 500. They weren't going for it. So I offered to do a $25 a month payment plan, and it looks like I'm on a $25 a month payment plan for 100 months. Um, so that's what they're gonna get. It looks like I'm still gonna wind up paying the full price of the debt, which sucks. But it's small increments in my own pace in my own time when I feel like it type thing. So that's a little better. Kick the puck, you feel me? but I'm also been working on my therapy homework. So I told y'all before I have therapy every 2 weeks. Additionally, I have couples therapy with the person that I'm with um, every week for the beginning. But my therapy is every 2 weeks, and my homework was to write a list of what are my insecurities and fears and what are the opposite of that. And when I asked what that meant, she said like go above and beyond, like not just like, oh, I'm scared to fail. Next is I'll succeed. No, it's I'm scared to fail. I'll succeed and have millions of dollars. I go above and beyond. So I want to share them a little bit with y'all before I get into my meeting on next Monday. Um, but here's a couple of my insecurities. They kind of helped me work through a couple of things as well. So one of my insecurities is that I'm gonna be alone. When I get old, I'm gonna be alone and without anyone to be around for me. My kids won't be around, and I won't have a partner to take care of or to take care of me. I will be old and bitter, and if I don't fix myself now, the older I get, the less likely someone will want to be with me because I'm declining in my cuteness. My home will be empty and lonely. And so the opposite of that insecurity is I will be old and in love with the person I am with. We will have been together for enough time to know how to treat each other, and we will care for each other's medical needs. We will take care of each other, grow old together, and be life partners. Our kids will visit regularly. They won't need to live with us because we will be healthy and have each other. But our kids will visit at least once a week. They will have their own rooms and rooms for the grandbabies when they come. The house will be always filled with love. So another insecurity I have is I'm not going to finish my PhD because I'm not smart enough and I do not comprehend the material enough. And the opposite of that is I will finish my PhD with multiple publications under my belt. My advisor and my committee members will step up and help me when I need them. They will not let me fail. They are very committed to my success. They will not let me fail. I will comprehend and become a master in my field. My dissertation defense will blow my committee and audience away. Another insecurity I have is I am unlovable. I push everyone out of my life. Just, or this is just who I am. I cannot change this, run from it, or hide from it. The opposite of that is I deserve love, and I have found it. I have changed my bad habits through therapy, homework, and practice. I am loved, and the people who love me will never abandon me. They give me grace and work with me because they care for me. Another insecurity I have is I will be found guilty of credit card debt. My payment plan amount will not be accepted, and I will be forced to pay the whole debt immediately. I will not have the funds available, and my car will be possessed to pay for the funds along with my bank accounts. and I will be out of all the monies I put into the car and no transportation. And the opposite of that is the judge will accept my payment plan, or he will throw out the debt completely. I will be less stressed and never have credit card debt again. Another one of my insecurities is I will be found out as a fraud. My past will catch up with me in the present. Something will come up, and I will either be denied a job because of my felonies, or I will go to jail for something and be sent to prison where I will lose all my PhD credentials, lose any job I'm in, get sucked back into the street life, and die poor with no elevation in my situation or circumstances. I will let everyone down from my neighborhood who has looked up to me so much. And the opposite of that is I will succeed and achieve my PhD, get a super good paying job making six figures while I teach. I will run a couple successful businesses on the side that will bring in twice as much as my teaching career. I will win the Nobel Prize, own multiple properties, and get paid for my investments. I will help out my people get on their feet and out of their current situation. My felonies will not hold me back. They will propel me further by making me and my story more relatable. I will lose nothing and I will net win. And then my last one I have so far is I will become a racist. The black woman I am with, as she becomes more in tune with her blackness, the less she will want to deal with a white man. The more affluent I become, the more racist I will become. I will sit down to get ahead and stay quiet to achieve. And the opposite of that is I could never be a conscious racist. I will succeed while I fight for equal rights. My activism will propel me further than my peers. The black woman I am with will be fully in tune with her blackness and see me, not just my skin. I will never stop fighting. I will speak up when I hear something, and I will stand up when necessary. I will never sell out to the man. And so that was my therapy homework. Again, the next part of my therapy homework is to go through some of my convictions and how can I stand on them. So, looking forward to answering that. One quick thing I wanted to say was how the court date went. So, again, I had a trial date today, or a pre-trial date, whatever, for credit card debt. So nowadays, if you run up credit cards and you don't pay long enough, you can actually get sued for it. So I got sued for this credit card debt, and the total debt was around $2,200, and I never responded to anything they sent, and 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 I never got served. So I guess they came by my place or what they thought was my residence and tried serving, but they didn't get me. And so what I was doing one day is I was checking on my divorce to make sure it was finalized and the case was closed. And while I was checking on that, I noticed that I had an open case with a credit management company, and it was for credit card debt. And so I found out what the court date was, and although I didn't get served, I showed up for the court date. It was over Zoom, but I showed up for the court date, and the judge was highly impressed that I showed up, even though I wasn't served. I wasn't technically on the docket, I think, because I wasn't served, and the lawyer representing the credit firm wasn't ready for me. So as they were calling other people to go into separate breakout rooms to discuss payment plans and whatnot, I wasn't never called. So then when he did call me, I showed up and he asked me who was I, and I gave him my case number, and he said thank you for being prepared. And then he found the person I was supposed to speak to, and we went to a separate room. So when we went to a separate room, the person was like, "You were never served, so I'm not ready. I don't have your paperwork. They didn't give me anything." He didn't know what he was doing basically because I was never served. So I caught him off guard, on surprise, right? And so as he was scrambling and stuff, I gave him, my phone number and email address or whatever like that. And so he was scrambling a little bit. And so basically he says, he started talking about payment plans. I said, I could pay maybe like $25 a month at this current time. I said I'm a full-time student, so I don't make much, but I get a stipend from school, and it's not a lot, just enough to survive, right? And I said the reason I couldn't pay you back was because of mitigating circumstances. I just went through a divorce and COVID. COVID can't pay anything because of COVID, right? And so I told him these things, and so he said, okay. And then and then he said, I don't know about that. He said, maybe you should call the company that's suing me. He said he tried to give me their number. He's like, call them and see if you can work something out. Maybe you have a lump sum or whatever. I said, well, aren't you their lawyer? He said, I'm not technically their lawyer. I'm filling in for some of their lawyers today. He said, next week I probably won't be their lawyer anymore. I said, well, can I give you an offer and you bring it to them? And he said, sure. I said, well, then I'll offer you $500 today to settle the debt. And he was like, "Oh no, 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 they're not going to go for that. And they need at least like 75 to 80% of the debt or whatever. That's like 25 or 20%. They won't go for that. I know they won't." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, that's what I have. Otherwise, maybe $25 a month." And he goes, "Well, maybe we should set this for mitigation so you can sit down and talk to someone and see, what the options are or whatever like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, mitigation, mitigation. We're gonna go back out. So we're gonna go back and tell the judge this. So click this button. We'll go back." So we go back to the courtroom where everyone was at, and so the lawyer says, "Yeah, we're asking to set another court date for mitigation. The client wasn't ever served. We think it's in his best interest for him to get served, and then talk to the people or whatever." And the judge looked like he was gonna go for it, but then their lawyer, mind you, asked me, he's like, "Is that right, Eric? Isn't that what you want to do?" And I said, "Yeah, not really." I said I gave him an offer and he didn't want to accept it, so I don't really want to go through mitigation again. And the judge was like, "Well, what did you offer?" I said, "Well, I offered either a lump sum right now for $500, or I could pay $25 a month." And the judge says, "Okay," and he starts doing the calculation. He goes, "Well, $25 a month, like whatever. It'll be about 100 months for you to get it paid off. 100 months. That's like 8.5 years." He said, "It'll be 100 months for you to get it paid off." And I was like, "Okay." And then he asked the lawyer. He says, "Does your company waive court fees?" And the lawyer's like, "No, this company never waives court fees. Like, you gotta pay court fees." The judge was like, "Okay, I was worried about that." He goes, "What about like your fees?" And the lawyer was like, "No, it's fine. I don't need the fees for this one." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "So your court fees will be tacked on to your final debt, so it'll be around $2,500, which will be about 100 months for you to get done." The judge says, "What are you going to school for?" And I said, "Marine biology, sir. I'm going to get my PhD in marine biology." He was like, "Okay." He goes, "Well, I usually don't do this, but I'm gonna step in. I have a little say so in these sort of manners. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a $25 a month payment plan to pay starting August 15th. Um, does that work for you?" I was like, "That works for me." So now I'm gonna wind up having to pay the debt in full, but it's not like a lot of money up front. Like, I don't have to pay $100 every month to get it down, because that wouldn't, just the way I'm living right now, that wouldn't have worked. I'm already spending over what I make each month, and to get another tack on is just unfeasible for me to do all that. So it's gonna be $25 a month until it's paid off in full in 8.5 years. So we'll see how that works. um, that avoids a lot of stuff. It avoids, I was worried about, like I said, my insecurities, my car getting taken away, seizing my bank accounts, just to get their money and then me be left with nothing. And I can't afford that right now. I really can't. Um, Unfortunately, I'm also being sued by another credit card company. I just found that out yesterday when I went on to double check the court date and time for today's hearing. There's another company suing me for even more money, around $11,000. So I'll keep you informed and let you know what happens with that. Interested to see what sort of payment plan or quick drop I can get from this company. Other than that, thanks for tuning in today, listening to a little bit of my therapy homework. Please take care of your mental health. Nick Holistic Life Healing from Within, new episodes out now. They are complete fire. I advise you to check them out with the quickness. Feel free to contact me, contact her through her website. Also, link in the description for both. Tell me how you feel. Peace, love, take care of yourself on purpose, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye.